Hi there, Mark Jamin here, Medical Director for the Haywood County Health Department. Let's talk about this pandemic. Time for the weekly update once again. But first, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone recovering from the floods and to those who lost their lives and families struggling with that. The summary is, we are still on a steep upslope of new cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. But there is some evidence that maybe the peak is not far away. So please share this with someone you care about. For the country, the relentless spread of red across the map. And note the change from just a month ago. Now you may be wondering what's going on in Nebraska, green now for weeks. They just stopped reporting weeks ago, but that has not made it go away there either. Only 11 states not in the red, and of those 11, 8 are right at the threshold. For our neighbors, entirely in the red, not one county in any of the 3 states not in the red zone. North Carolina, although our rate is not as high as our neighbors, nonetheless, the entire state in the red zone. And last week, you may recall, we commented that perhaps the rate was flattening some in North Carolina, but no, it returned to the steep upslope of new cases this week. Hospitalizations, you will note, have a significant increase this week. Deaths continue at an increased level. Across western North Carolina, everyone's still in the red, some even further in the red than last week. And note, Cherokee County doubled its rate this week on top of already high levels. And look at the absolute number of cases there just this past week. Graham County, too. Only Henderson and Jackson registered lower rates. As far as testing, substantial levels continue. Recall 5% is the important threshold to be below. And levels this high suggest not enough people are getting tested, meaning there are more cases around than we know about. And note Jackson County with the highest testing rate and yet the lowest case rate. Something's got to give there. Haywood County ended the week at 5,523 cases for the pandemic. That's an increase of 288 this week, adding 68 cases on Friday alone. By far the highest weekly rate of this spike, and a level last seen only in the first 2 weeks of January at the peak of the winter surge. 2 additional deaths reported this week, now at 108 for the pandemic. And August has seen the most deaths since February among our fellow Haywood County residents. Haywood Regional Medical Center averaged more than 20 COVID-related admissions this week, including some in the ICU. They continue to be predominantly people not vaccinated. Frequent diversion of EMS continues not only here in Haywood County, but all over the region. Now, hoping to get an idea about where we may be headed, it looks like we now look like the UK, having surpassed the experience in Missouri. And if so, we might well see our peak in the next week or so. But like the UK, will we see a decrease then, only to see cases rise once more? If you remember the early days of the pandemic, the hammer and the dance, recall those dance steps? I won't be repeating them for you though. Remember, they are being careful when you go out and about, isolating if infected, quarantining if exposed. And more people are doing those, the dance. Getting vaccinated, that will help us not experience a secondary rise. More and more people are doing that. And it's with those dance steps that we can tamp down this surge and keep from having to bring back the hammer and bring the hammer down. And that depends on you, those you care about, and each of us in this community. So be well and be careful, especially right now.